Hello, beautiful people. It's a beautiful day. It's hot as shit though. But I found this spot in the shade right here. And I just decided to make an outdoor video. Um, it's been a while since I've actually made a video outside. I've been making videos indoors and in my car because of the heat, but there's something about making videos outdoors or just like sitting outside outdoors in front of like a body of water. It's very zen. It's very calming, very relaxing, very peaceful, very um, meditative, um, and I love it. Right, these are sort of the videos I enjoy making the most, and it feels more authentic. I love it. I really hope y'all are doing well. I really hope y'all have been taking care of yourselves, loving on yourselves, and just taking the time to enjoy life as much as possible. 'Cause that's all we can do, right? Now, I wanted to talk about something that is, in a sense, a bit deeper than my usual videos, right? Something that goes below um, the surface of the things I usually talk about. And I've been having this sudden urge to talk about some of the deeper things that come to my mind, some of the deeper ideas that I think about, deeper concepts, so on and so forth. But oftentimes I have you know, this doubt that if I do talk about these things, then no one is going to even care or listen. But you know, like I said, it's not about mm, even people's reception. It's about how you feel about what you do. And I think I need to take my own advice when it comes down to this. Now, what I wanted to talk about was freedom in being absolutely nothing or nothing, if you want to say that. Freedom in being absolutely nothing. So, quite often in the self love, self improvement community, manifestation community, we like to mention the idea of sort of labeling ourselves positively, right? Thinking of ourselves as attractive, handsome, beautiful, smart, wise, so on and so forth. All the positive labels that we tend to place on ourselves, right? Now, I must preface that it is better to think of yourself positively or to label yourself positively or see yourself in a positive light as opposed to thinking of yourself negatively, right? It is better to think of yourself as beautiful or attractive as opposed to thinking of yourself as unattractive or ugly, right? And it is better to think of yourself as wise or smart as opposed to thinking of yourself as being just plain stupid or unintelligent, so on and so forth, right? Labeling yourself or thinking of yourself positively is a whole lot better than dwelling in negativity, right? But just because a cage is made out of gold doesn't mean it's still not a cage. I'm gonna say it again. Just because a cage is made out of gold doesn't mean it's still not a cage, right? And what I mean by that is the moment you label yourself as something, you spend the rest of your life defending that thing. The moment you label yourself as attractive, you spend the rest of your life defending that label that you place on yourself, right? So let's say you're the type of person who thinks you're attractive, right? Or you label yourself as this attractive person, right? Because you identify so much with being that attractive person. If you wake up one day and let's say you begin to lose your hair, let's say you wake up and there are pimples on your skin, for example, right? That change in your external perception or in your external image, I should say, is going to conflict or mess with that idea or that label that you place on yourself, right? And because that change in your external perception, in your external image is going to change, it is going to affect how you feel about yourself, right? Because you're in a sense constantly trying to defend or uphold your image of being that attractive person, right? Y'all get what I'm saying? It's the same thing if you think of yourself as this super intellectual person, this super wise person, this super smart person, right? The moment you say something that is stupid, or the moment you, in a sense, don't uphold that image of being the smart person, or you make a mistake or something, right? Because it conflicts with that image you have of yourself, you are going to start questioning yourself. You are going to start feeling bad about yourself because the idea that you have of yourself of being the smart person, in that moment, it is going to be conflicted. And that is going to affect how you feel about yourself. That is going to affect your self love. So, labels, whether positive or negative, right? Labels are still a cage. It is still a cage. And you are going to spend the rest of your life trying to defend that label that you place on yourself, trying to uphold it. And there are going to be moments in your life in which you simply can't uphold it. There are going to be moments in your life in which you might not look as attractive as you used to be. There are going to be moments in your life in which you might say something stupid or you might get something wrong, so on and so forth, and it might clash with the idea of being that smart or intellectual person, right? Y'all get what I'm saying? So labels, whether positive or negative, they are still a cage. Now here's the thing, and here's the beauty in being absolutely nothing, right? And I've been thinking about this recently. See, the highest form of self-love isn't thinking of yourself as attractive or handsome or beautiful or smart or intelligent. The highest form of self-love is being content with just being you. That's it. The highest form of self-love is being content with just being you. Being you without the labels. Being you without attaching this idea of you being this attractive person. Being you without attaching this label of being this smart, intellectual, wise person, right? The highest form of self love is simply being you. Being you without the labels, because who you are cannot be labeled, right? Who you are cannot be labeled. Who you are goes beyond all these labels that we place on ourselves. We go way beyond that. We go way beyond duality. See, this is probably going to go over a lot of people's heads, right? But when it comes on to life, there is no such thing as being beautiful or ugly. There is no such thing as being smart or stupid. None of these things exist. The only reason why we have these labels is because of our minds, right? Our minds constantly judge, right? Our minds constantly critique. Our minds constantly categorize things. So we create labels out of things that cannot simply be labeled, right? I really don't want this to go over your heads, right? If you look at a flower is neither beautiful nor ugly. A flower just is. It just exists. It's just a flower. Now, when you go look at that flower, you begin to create judgments by looking at that flower. So you might go to the flower and you might say, wow, that's a beautiful flower. But that is still you attaching your own judgment on that flower. If someone else goes to that same flower and they have a different opinion of that flower, they are going to say, "Oh my word, what a ugly flower," right? So we are constantly projecting our own judgments, our own criticism on things which cannot be judged or criticized because they simply are. They simply just exist. And when it comes on to life, when it comes on to us, we are the ones judging ourselves or putting ourselves in categories when we simply just exist. We simply just are. We are neither beautiful nor ugly. We are neither smart nor stupid. We just are. And the highest form of self love is just being content with being you and letting go of all the labels. Letting go of labeling yourself. Letting go of categorizing yourself. Letting it all go and just being content with being you. There's going to be one day when you wake up and your face might be swollen, right? There might be pimples on your face. You might be having a bad hair day. Do you suddenly become unattractive? Do you suddenly not be yourself? Do you become someone else? No, you're still you. What if you're the smartest person in this world? You classify yourself as the smartest person in this world, and then one day you're having a discussion with someone and you say something stupid or you get something wrong. Are you suddenly not you anymore? You see what I'm saying? Who we are goes way beyond the labels that we place on ourselves. And the moment you begin to let go of these labels, the moment you stop clinging to them and you're content with just existing, being you, that is the greatest freedom that you will ever find in this world, right? People who see themselves as attractive, they are constantly micromanaging themselves. They're constantly judging themselves, right? They're constantly trying to even manage the external perception of other people. Because if you see yourself as this attractive person, then you're constantly going to, in a sense, feel some level of insecurity or you're constantly going to be thinking of how other people are seeing you in certain situations and circumstances, right? If you attach this label of being smart to yourself, you're constantly going to wonder how people are viewing you. You're constantly going to wonder if they're still looking at you as this smart person, right? You, in a sense, are always trying to uphold a label that you simply cannot uphold. But when you're content with being you, it's like, okay, maybe one day I'm seen as attractive, or to maybe to one person I'm seen as attractive, maybe to another person I'm seen as unattractive. But at the end of the day, I'm still me. And I love myself irrespective of whether or not people see me as unattractive or attractive. I love myself despite waking up one day and my face being swollen. I love myself even if I wake up one day and I begin to lose my hair. I love myself even if I wake up one day and I wake up with pimples on my face, so on and so forth. When you love yourself beyond all these labels, that is the highest form of self love there is. That's the highest form of self love, right? And I've been the type of person who constantly live my life, or I lived a large portion of my life attaching labels to myself, right? Thinking of myself as this attractive person, thinking of myself as a smart person who's able to give people wisdom, so on and so forth. And in the moments when reality wasn't coinciding with the perception that I had of myself, right? Let's say I approached a girl and she didn't find me attractive. I began to feel horrible and shitty about myself because how could she not be interested in me if I think of myself as this attractive person, right? How can I say something stupid or how can I be wrong if I'm this smart person, right? It is a prison the moment you cling or you find yourself in a prison, the moment you cling to labels. It is a prison. And the moment you let them go, that is when you find freedom. Freedom in simply being you, right? Freedom in being you. The greatest freedom there is. The greatest freedom. Now, I saw a video the other day with Aurora, and I'm not sure if y'all know who Aurora is. She's a musical artist, right? Beautiful music. I love her music. But I think someone asked her what type of person she is, or someone asked her how would she describe herself, right? And she said, I don't really try to describe myself. I don't try to label myself because the world is already going to do that for me. I'm just content with being me. And sometimes me is going to express different things. Sometimes me, being myself, I'm going to say something stupid. Sometimes me, being myself, I'm going to say probably the smartest thing that you could possibly hear in this world. I'm just content with being me. And I'm going to express myself differently in different moments, different situations, right? That is what it means to go beyond this duality and to just be content with being you. Be content with just being yourself, with just existing, and not attaching all these labels to ourselves. Because you will never be able to uphold them 100%. And when you encounter people who think differently about you, When you find yourself in situations which go against the label or the perception that you place on yourself, you are going to begin to question it yourself, right? You are going to take it from me. This is how I came to this epiphany that I can't just be attaching labels to myself. Because in a sense, yes, I was feeling better about myself, and yes, it is better to think of myself as attractive or smart, so on and so forth, right? But there was still a crack in my armor, in the sense that there were still um, moments in which I would begin to doubt myself when reality didn't coincide with that perception or with that image or with that label that I've placed on myself, right? Life rarely 100% coincides with our expectations or with our labels, so on and so forth. It rarely does. So true self-love is going beyond duality. It's going beyond thinking of yourself as this or that and simply being content with being you. And you, one moment, you might be chaotic, you might be organized. You, one moment, you might be attractive, handsome, beautiful, and then the next moment, you might not be attractive. With you being you, one moment, you're going to be the smartest person in the world, and one moment, you're going to be stupid. So being able to accept yourself in always, right? Being able to accept yourself in always, and recognizing that in being nothing, you're still everything, right? That's the paradox of it all. In being nothing, you are still everything. Because the moment you stop attaching a label on yourself, the moment you start being no thing, you become everything. Because everything can express from you at any given moment. Because all things exist within you. There is goodness within you. There is evil within you, right? As much as we try to deny it, right? There is you that is smart, there's you that is foolish. Everything exists within you. So returning back to that place of nothingness in which you cling to no label, in which you identify with no label, it is the greatest freedom that you will ever find in this world. And to me, that is the highest form of self-love. The highest form of self-love is simply being content with being you. That's it. I'm me. I can't be labeled. I can't be categorized. Who I am even goes beyond the mind's categorizations. Who am I, or who I am goes beyond all the labels of the mind. Way beyond that, right? Goes way beyond that. So yeah, um, I really hope you guys got something from this video, or at least understand what I'm saying. Because if you truly understand what I'm saying in this video, you will begin to find a deeper sense of freedom going through your everyday life. And I'm finding it. I'm finding it the moment when I stop clinging to a certain label and I'm okay with just being me. I'm okay with just being me. I'm okay with being a stupid person from time to time. I'm okay with being labeled as a smart person from time to time. I'm okay with being seen as attractive by some people. I'm okay by being seen as unattractive by some people. right? But at the end of the day, I am still me. I am still me. And I love and adore myself in all ways, no matter what is being expressed from me in each moment, right? So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here with me. Um, take care of yourselves. Give yourselves a bit of love every day, like I always say. And yeah, I know my videos probably don't have the greatest camera quality. Um, and to be real with y'all, I really don't even care about the camera quality that much anymore. As long as y'all can see me, and as long as y'all, truly receive the message that I'm trying to put out, right? As long as y'all truly receive the message. So be content with just being you. You are okay. You are okay just the way you are. You are okay just the way you are. No matter what season of your life you're going through, no matter what is expressed from you in each moment, you are okay and perfect in every single moment. You are still okay. And seeing perfection in yourself, even in moments when you are imperfect, is what it means to truly love yourself. Recognizing that you are imperfectly perfect because you are you, and no one can be better at being you than being you, and no one can be you. Once you recognize that, that is when you truly step into freedom and self love. Peace and blessings, y'all.